Today, we're going to dig into something pretty fundamental, the true meaning of the word Islam. And spoiler alert, it might not be what you think at all. We're going straight to the source to figure this out. So let's just jump right in with a big question. One you've probably heard or even asked yourself. Did the religion of Islam actually start with a man named Muhammad? That question is a perfect place to start because it gets right to the heart of a very common misconception. I mean, if you ask most people, they'd probably say, yeah, of course, Islam is a religion that kicked off with the Prophet Muhammad back in 7th century Arabia. But is that the whole story, according to the source text itself? Let's dig in. To really get to the bottom of this, we have to do something important. We need to forget about Islam with a capital I for a second, the name of the religion, and look at the actual Arabic word itself, Islam with a lowercase I. So what does it mean? Well, linguistically, Islam is a noun. Its number one meaning is the act of surrender or submission. Simple as that. It also carries a really interesting secondary meaning, which is to make peace. And that leads us right to the word Muslim. It's pretty logical, right? A Muslim is just someone who is in a state of Islam, a person who surrenders or submits. So right off the bat, we're talking about a state of being, an action, not just a label for a group. Okay, so why does this distinction even matter? Well, this is where things get really interesting. This is where a simple word definition blossoms into a massive, universal idea. The source material has this brilliant analogy to explain it. Think about the word soft. You can say a pillow is soft, lowercase s, and you're just describing a quality it has, right? It's an attribute. But what if there was a brand of pillows called soft with a capital S? Now that's a title, a proper name. And that's the exact same logic here. Lowercase Islam is a state of being, a quality. Uppercase Islam is the title of a specific religious group. And this isn't just some modern interpretation. This idea is woven right into the Quran. Take this verse, for example. It basically asks, why look for anything else when everything in the heavens and the earth has already surrendered to God, whether it wants to or not? It's describing this submission, this Islam, as a universal constant. Think about it. Planets orbiting the sun, cells following biological laws, they're all in a state of surrender to the system that governs them. So let's follow that thought. If Islam is a universal attribute like being soft, then it's impossible for any one group to own it, right? It can't be exclusive. Anyone or anything can have that attribute. And this totally tracks with what we see in the Quran, which says that righteous believers from other paths, Jews, Nazarene, Sabians, who do good deeds will get their reward too. It's an incredibly inclusive idea. This brings up a huge question, doesn't it? If this whole idea of submission is so universal and timeless, then was Muhammad really the first one to talk about it? Well, according to the Quran's own narrative, the answer is a resounding no. It presents this core message, submission to the one God, as this unbroken chain stretching way back in time. It's the same message taught by Abraham. It's the same message at the core of what Moses received. It's what Jesus called his followers to. And Muhammad? He's seen as the one who continued and finalized that very same message. This verse just drives that point home so clearly. It says, hey, we don't make any distinction between any of these prophets, and to him we submit. The idea is that the focus should always be on the message, which is consistent, not on elevating one messenger over the others. And here's something that might surprise you. The Quran actually goes back in time and uses this term. It calls people like Abraham, Noah, even the disciples of Jesus, Muslims. And again, remember the definition, those in a state of submission. It's applying the attribute to people who lived hundreds, even thousands of years before Muhammad was ever born.
So you see, this completely reframes Muhammad's role, doesn't it? He's not a founder starting something from scratch. No, in this view, he's a messenger in a long line of messengers. He's a reminder. His job was to redeliver this timeless, universal truth for his people and for everyone who came after.
Okay, so that naturally leads to another question. If the message is already out there, if it's timeless, then what's the point of the Quran itself? What is its job? Well, the book itself gives us a pretty big clue. It often calls itself a dhikr, an Arabic word that means a reminder. And the implication of that is huge. It's not claiming to introduce some brand new alien concept. Instead, it's saying its purpose is to remind us, to reawaken truths that are already hardwired into us, and that we can see in the world all around us if we just look. And this verse just nails it. It says, "We have sent down to you a book in which is your remembrance."
And then it finishes with this incredible challenge. Will you not then use reason? It's not asking for blind faith. It's an invitation to think, to reason, to reflect on these ideas. So that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. If Islam, in its purest, original sense, is just this universal state of submission to the laws of physics, to a higher truth, whatever it may be, then let's just for a second strip away all the labels and the proper names. What are you? What am I? What are we all submitting to every single day, whether we realize it or not? It's definitely something to think about.